Alright team, listen up. Resident Evil 2 sold well, but now we need a new gimmick. What have you got for me? Make it first person, set it on a boat. That's rubbish, no one will play it. You. Turn it into a hack and slash action game about devils. They might be crying. That's a terrible idea and will never work. You, Johnson, what have you got? Johnson! Dinosaurs. It's genius. Give that man a raise. You're welcome. What are we doing?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I'm Josh Drive-Hayes, and this is Retro Review, a series where we take a look back and replay some of the best, some of the worst, and some of the strangest video games of all time. Drop a like on the vid and sub to the channel for more gaming content, and ring the bell so you don't miss a single video. A massive thank you to all my Patreon supporters and Twitch subs who make all my content possible. Links to both of these are in the description below. Today we're going back to 1999 and replaying Dino Crisis on the PlayStation 1. I'd consider this game the middle child of the Resident Evil series. Not as bad as Resident Evil 1, not as famous as Resi 4, but made by the same company in the exact same style, with one major difference: zombies are out and dinosaurs are in. Dino Crisis was a survival horror for the PlayStation 1, and while it did spawn 2 sequels, it never quite made it as a franchise, which is a shame because it was a decent little title with a lot of potential. So grab a drink and settle in as we go back and experience the horror all over again. The game starts with the classic Resident Evil warning of explicit violence and gore. I mean, I hope so, game. You're about dinosaurs ripping people apart. Don't spare the gore on my account. The main menu is just one image, a dinosaur's jagged, blood-covered claw. And if you've seen Jurassic Park, you've seen the awesome scene where Sam Neill explains to this kid just what this claw can do to a man. Normal or easy? Let's go with normal, do things properly. The intro movie starts with an info dump on a screen about a military research facility. One of our spies has confirmed there's no weapons here, but he's spotted Dr. Kirk, which is surprising because Dr. Kirk was meant to have died 3 years ago. Now, Kirky boy was apparently big into renewable energy, but never quite got the funding, apparently faked his death and started working here, so we're assigned to infiltrate the facility and bring him back. This is a late 90s game, so cue the CGI, which is actually, for the time, pretty damn good. The only thing wrong with this helicopter cinematic is there's no subtitles and all the characters are wearing masks, so I can't understand a damn thing they are saying. We all parachute in. It's a 4-man team, but only 3 of us land in the right place. Let's meet the team. You've got Gale, blonde captain, Rick, black tech guy, Cooper, Mr. Can't Parachute Accurately, and Regina, which is you. The 3 of us that paid attention in parachute training set off to find the doctor, and unfortunately Cooper gets chased through the jungle and eaten by a T-Rex. That's what happens when you don't pay attention in class, Cooper. You've only got yourself to blame. Game starts and we can finally move. The lights in the guard tower are out. This is pretty suspicious for a military compound, so angry captain tells us to wait here, checks it's safe, then Rick pops into the security room to try and get the cameras back up. So let's talk about Capcom's aim with this game. The Resident Evil series had, up to this point, used pre-drawn static backgrounds, but Dino Crisis had a real-time render engine, which meant the camera could move more. The environments could be slightly bigger and somewhat 3D, and you could actually run around and explore a 3D area instead of moving against a 2D backdrop. Capcom will go on to say, while Resident Evil was survival horror, Dino Crisis was panic horror. The dinosaurs were smarter than zombies and much, much faster. This in-game cutscene is unskippable, by the way, and if you watch everything, you'll be sitting here for 6.5 minutes before the game actually starts. I know this because I timed it. The camera in this game is fixed with limited drifting, meaning it can pan and slide to follow where we go, but you cannot move it from its actual fixed location. Captain Gale finds this giant rip in the fence and some still warm bullet casings and assesses the guards were shooting at something, but as there's no blood, did not hit anything. Now for a Capcom survival game staple, the floating in the air item that you can see but cannot reach. This box of something is behind a locked gate, and now it begins. If you've not played a Capcom survival game before, here's how they work. Start at place A, solve a series of puzzles, go to place B, find item to unlock door, backtrack, make progress, do all this while avoiding things that want to kill you. There is a 100% chance we will have to come back here later in the game, and we will be picking that up. We pop inside this storage room and find a key on a cabinet. All your items are added to your inventory, so let's have a look at that. You can see your various items such as keys and consumables, medpacks or bandages, or equipable stuff like guns and ammo. You can also mix items together using the mix menu to create new things. Mixing a bandage that stops bleeding but doesn't restore health and a medpack that restores health but doesn't stop bleeding will make a thing that restores health and stops bleeding. You'll need to do this because you can only carry a limited amount of each thing. Plus, if you're bleeding, you're likely to have been attacked and need health back anyway. We push these shelves and take this item. Pushing objects to solve puzzles is a common thing in these games, and while in Resident Evil it was very obvious what could be pushed, as it was rendered in-game and not a highly detailed background, kind of like when cartoons have obvious animation cells, Dino Crisis renders everything, so spotting what can be pushed is actually a little bit tougher, because it looks like everything else. Rick rings us up and tells us the power is out and asks us to turn the backup generator on. We run down a path to the generator and then discover a dead body. Not just dead, but ripped apart dead. And we are remarkably calm during this whole thing. We also notice tooth marks on the body and mention how it was likely an animal that did this. And again, Regina, how are you so calm? Loot the dead guy and take his medpack because, he wasn't using it, and go into the generator room. Cue the first puzzle. 4 coloured switches in a specific order. 4 fuses you can switch the order on. It's a basic match up the colours puzzle, but let's just step back from this puzzle aspect. Who the hell would build a generator like this? Who designs these systems? How is this user-friendly? You know what? I can't be questioning every puzzle design in this game, because if I do, I would go mad. Flip around the batteries, turn the generator back on, and oh, there's a battery charge station in this room. Gotta make a mental note of that for when I inevitably need it later. Head outside, but then we hear gunfire and a scream. Oh no, Gale! Rush outside and no Gale, but lots of blood. Follow the trail and then we see it. For the first time, a dinosaur. We get this super cool dinosaur perspective run and leap from the roof to us, and then we're in combat. Now, combat has never been a strong point of early horror games. Hold R1 to raise your gun, press X to fire, and good lord, these dinosaurs take so many bullets to kill. Shoot them enough and they'll fall down, but they can be faking because they are tricksy little dinosaurs and will whip you with their tail if you go near them. They're only dead when you see a pool of blood seeping out of them. Getting mauled by a dinosaur apparently hurts, and you'll see we're now dripping blood and limping, and that was just one enemy. I've burned through most of my ammo and I took damage, so I'm probably just gonna run past whatever attacks me next. Save bullets for when I really need them. I know I'm bleeding and hurt, so I open the menu to check my health, and there isn't a way to check. What? So just like in Resident Evil, in Dino Crisis, your health isn't shown by a bar. You've got to watch the character model. Limping is hurt, dragging your leg and limping badly is very hurt, and leaving a trail of blood means you are bleeding, which will take you from one stage of damage to the next. You basically want to stop your bleeding whenever you see it, and use a med kit whenever you're limping. It's not an exact science, but you will get used to it. One cool effect though is whenever you open a door, you have a little animation that plays while the next area loads. Opening a door while injured shows a different animation. I thought that was a nice touch. Rick calls and says the place is deserted, and we're all like, nah mate, there's dinosaurs. Rick isn't totally convinced and tells us to come to the control room, then we are shown a map. Blue is where we are, red is where we need to be. While the camera angle may be static, they're placed in such a way that down is consistently down, up is always up, and left and right are respected, making navigation actually very easy. If you need to get to a room on the right hand side of the map, you'll always be running consistently to the right hand side of the screen. Oh god, it's a corridor lined with large glass windows. I don't like this. I know something is going to jump out at me, and I really don't like horror games. For those of you who don't know, I love horror films and hate horror games. Films are fine because I'm not the one making decisions and can watch objectively, but horror games, when it's me in the driving seat, all my decisions then become subjective, and I am not good with jump scares. The first door here is locked, so keep on moving. I am limping a lot now, so time for my first medpack. There is a laser grid blocking our way, but the vent above us is open, so climb into there, and then this animation plays. We rappel up to the vent. How did that... Wait, what? How did the steel wire get there? You know what? No, I'm doing it again. I'm questioning logic in a game about dinosaurs taking over a military compound. I need to stop. The vent is massive. There is so much room up here, it's basically a corridor. Vents aren't like this. Drop from the vent into an office, find a shotgun, a code disc, and a plug. Annoyingly, no shotgun ammo. There's a dead guy in the back of this office with a keycode on him, so just gonna borrow that. Then a locked safe with a 4-digit combination. I spend a few minutes trying random combos out, and it turns out I am not the lock-picking lawyer. Interacting with a PC lets us read an email on how the DDK lock system works. Basically, we need 2 linked discs of a certain letter to open that lettered door. Good to know. Now, leaving this office asks us if we'd like to save. This is how the game's save system works. You can only save your progress when using certain doors, so pushing ahead into the game is the only way to unlock save points. Save points. Remember those, or you can run all the way back to the previous one. Thankfully, unlike Resident Evil, you can save an unlimited number of times. Run back into the corridor, grab the bullets on the floor, and find my first emergency box. Because you can only carry a limited number of things, mainly 10 total items, that's combining all of your ammunition and all of your medkits, you can store stuff in these boxes. But you need to spend a plug of the same colour to unlock the box. Can you imagine actually working somewhere with a system like this?
This man is dying! Quick, fetch the medical supplies! I'm on it. Oh, wait, no, I can't open that one. That one needs the bishop chess piece, and I've only got an old Magic the Gathering card and a comb. What kind of a system is that? A bad one. A lot of people have died.
We meet up with Rick in the control room and he suggests calling a chopper in and getting the hell off this island. What a great idea, except for the fact Cooper had the radio and he's in a T-Rex somewhere. Well, with no escape, we might as well do the mission, so we set off to find Dr. Kirk. Explore the ground floor some more. This gate's locked, so back to the vent and drop down into this corridor. The laser grid is still active, but Rick can now deactivate it for me. I turn the laser fence off, step through, hear a dinosaur, so immediately step back and turn it back on. They are much less scary when there's a laser fence between you and them. The dinosaur just keeps charging into the fence until I riddle his face with bullets. Haha, fear me, I am the dinosaur queen. Oh, this door takes us back to the management office, the safe place. I've also noticed how the music when in this room is all nice and calm and relaxing. I hope this room always remains safe. Please don't set up my expectations just to subvert them. I need this. Run down the corridor into a locker room. There's a key on a locker and a tranquilizer dart on the floor. Now these are useful. They knock a dinosaur out, but only briefly, meaning you can run past it, but it will be there on the way back. There's a journal on the table. One of the soldiers has noticed there's a spy in the facility. Oh, also the combination to the weapons safe is 0426. Sweet. Run back to open that to find the main entrance key and a resuscitation. What? This is meant to be the weapons safe. Where are the weapons? This is a key and a medkit. This is the opposite of weapons.
Dinosaurs are attacking! Quick, fetch the weapons supplies! Already checked. No weapons, but I did find some post-it notes and a pair of old pyjama trousers. What kind of a weapons supply cache is that? A bad one. A lot of people have died.
The main entrance is a big creepy room with big creepy music. Also, there's a load of anesthetic plus scattered around. These are used in mixing items to make medical stuff better. Use the main entrance key to get outside. Not much here, but I do find some shotgun shells and a keycard by a dead guy. There's also some lab notes here, but nothing seemingly important on them. Back inside, all the other doors on this floor are locked, so up the stairs we go. This landing has the most obvious please push me plinth ever, and pushing it does indeed lead to a hidden item. The moment I get into this room, I hear chewing. I know there's a dinosaur in here. You can tell because the character model turned her head to look at it, so just gotta be cool. Just gotta play it cool. Walk casually to the door, avoid it, don't panic, and made it. No, God, there's another dinosaur right in front of me. Jesus, put the shotgun on, put the shotgun down, load the shotgun, blast the dinosaur. Oh, God, no, get off me, kid, shot me to the face, and damn shotgun shells back. Pistol, die, you stupid dinosaur. Calm. I'm calm. Let's do some mixing, get rid of some items. Mixing the anesthetic together actually creates more darts, which is useful, and makes some better med packs. Then I kind of trigger something in the wrong order. See, when you leave a dinosaur and go into a room, that dinosaur can actually break into the room and follow you. The dinosaur from outside breaks in and the action music starts, but I just clicked to read this file, so it ends up being the most intense file reading scene of all time. Throw some tranq darts into the shotgun and send this dino to sleep while I run away. Back in the hall there's a locked door, but I do have both keys, so this is the puzzle you are given. A string of letters, then a cipher. You just have to type the letters from the string that don't appear in the cipher. In this case, to get into the head office, the password is head. In the chief's office, amazingly, there's someone alive, a scientist. Oh, but not for long. He gives us a keycard and then dies. Search the office, there's some ammo in the corner. Behind a chair, there's a display with some medals on it and slots for 2 keycards. And then, Jesus Christ, I was not expecting that. The T-Rex smashes into the room, knocks the table over, and lunges for you. I run away and get eaten. God damn, this is basically a quick time event, but you have to do stuff at the right time and it doesn't show you the key presses. So try again, shoot it and then run, and nope, wrong again. Every time you die, you use a resuscitation pack and appear back outside the office, so at least I have a few chances. And you have 5 continues if you die without a resuscitation pack. Let's try shooting and running quickly. Also no. Okay, fine, let's just unload this shotgun into his stupid face. Yeah, that did the trick. The T-Rex leaves, and Regina, who is clearly not the sharpest card in the deck, walks right up to the window to have a look around. It's a good thing he's gone, Regina, otherwise you would be eaten by now. I run down the corridor and check outside, dipping into this little comms room. There's a memo about how the satellite dish will be stored away, then a code for the weapons locker in the lounge. Oh, sweet, 8159. I didn't even see a weapons locker in the lounge, but hey, guns! Let's go back and find them. Run back inside, down the corridor, and into the lounge again. More dinosaurs, so dodge them and open up the wall safe. Oh, by the way, whenever you do anything like read a memo or open a door or activate a safe, the game effectively freezes, so it doesn't matter if you're being attacked, the dinosaurs will calmly wait until you've finished reading. I open up the wall safe and get some handgun upgrade bits. The upgrade method isn't explained well at all. You have to equip the gun you want to upgrade, then try and equip the upgrade component and they'll get fused together. Cool, my gun can now fire better bullets. I don't seem to have a map destination, so not quite sure where to go now. I go back outside and check the far door. It is locked. Maybe I'll just head back to Rick, ask what this Sol card the scientist gave me might do. While checking some more doors in the entrance hall, Rick calls up and says the shutters are now open. Also, he saw a human-like figure on the security camera near the training hall, so off I go to check that out. The elevator room needs another cipher. It is newcomer, and inside the elevator lobby is a dead dude, another plinth to push, and one of the cool glass map display things. I like these. The elevator is on, but it needs a key card, so I check my invent on... Oh, hang on, I've picked up 2 panel keys with medals on them. I bet these can go in the chief's office. Sol and Leo. Cool. So I run back and use them. It unlocks a safe. Oh, it's a 6-digit combo. I can't just guess this. Where have I seen a 6-digit combination before? Oh, did I see one on the paperwork on the dead dude outside? So I run back outside and check and, no, this is 5 digits. But I am going to write this down, just in case it comes in handy later. Go back to the elevator room and out of a side door, down a new corridor and, oh no, ambushed. Wait, what? Double ambushed? 2 of them? So I run around and trap them, haha! Then I unload all my bullets into them and they're not dead and I'm out of ammo. Maybe not the best choice, might have messed up here. Reload the last save, know what's coming up, and run forward past the ambush and scramble up into this air vent. I love how the dinosaurs just must calmly wait somewhere off camera while you set up the rappel wire and just slowly ascend. Quick jaunt through the vent and drop down into the toilet, exactly like the opening of GoldenEye, except with dinosaurs and Bond's a girl and there aren't any Russians, so not really anything like the opening of GoldenEye. More dinosaurs in this corridor. Honestly, they're getting to be more of a nuisance than a terror now. Plus, I can just duck into a nearby room and double back using the vents. I don't need to fight them. Head back to the newly opened lecture hall, close to where that double ambush was, grab this key from the front desk and, oh no! Ventilation Velociraptor! Ventiraptor. I love how danger flashes up on the screen to let the player know as if we might be unsure. Just as all hope is lost and Ventiraptor is about to kill me, machine gun fire and Gale appears to save the day. Gale says his radio is broken and he needs to go and see Rick to get him to fix it. I thought we didn't have radios, which is why we didn't call the chopper. Did you just forget about that plot point, game? Oh, the key from the lecture room desk. That's the backup generator outdoor key, which I think was the item we saw way back at the start. So I run all the way back and yep, that gate is now unlocked and we can grab that item. Another generator and another puzzle, except this time a battery is missing. Push this shelf and find an item, then find the missing battery in the battery charging station on the wall. Put it in and boom, generator back on. A quick call from Rick lets us know we have power, then he says something I hate. He says, come back, I have something I need to talk to you about. Dude, we're talking now. We have radios. They're literally designed for talking. Just tell me stuff literally right now while I'm safe and you're safe. Use the communication devices we have for their intended purposes. You covered this in training. Back in this window corridor, and god damn it, I knew something was going to burst through the glass at some point, Capcom. You just can't not do that, can you? Back in the control room, and we've got a bit of a conundrum. You see, Captain Gale has seen someone in the underground via CCTV and wants to go and grab them because it might be the Doctor. But Rick has picked up a distress signal, either from our spy Tom or Comrade Cooper, and wants to go and investigate, and we have to choose who to follow. Now, if I was being hunted by dinosaurs and sent out a distress call, I'd expect you all to come and find me, so I'm going to side with Rick on this one. Run back outside, fight past two dinosaurs on a tight walkway, and then, oh god, now they fly. A pterodactyl swoops down and grabs me, which makes me drop my shotgun. God damn it, Regina, hold on to your weapons. Did you not cover that in training? Oh, interesting dinosaur fact, you will never hear a pterodactyl go to the toilet, because the P is silent.
Please like and subscribe.
This whole outdoor area is basically one giant elevator, but the power is off, so I grab my shotgun and run back inside. I'm not wasting ammo trying to shoot that thing down. Inside we find Tom, our spy. He's been gored up pretty bad, but manages to tell us that Dr. Kirk is a madman and isn't studying clean energy at all. Shock, shock, horror. You know, Tom, I've got a sneaking suspicion his studies might be a little bit more dinosaur-based. Tom hands us a keycard and then almost dies. This is the second time we've been given something by a scientist and then they've nearly died, and two is a pattern. I wonder if we'll get a third scientist hands over an item and then dies. God, I hope so. Rick stays with Tom and we explore. There's a map on the wall, and interacting with it adds the information to our actual map, which I really like. It's a decent in-game way of gaining in-game information, and it makes total sense. Head back outside, dodge more flying dinosaurs. They might be ancient perfect killing machines, but you can outsmart them by running a little bit faster. Go into this new building, down a ladder, and another stupid puzzle. Probably the stupidest so far. You need to fit 3 pipes into 3 holes from one side of the wall to the other, but each pipe is split into 2 sections, so that's 6 total sections of pipe. You lower a section down in a specific position, either left or right. You have 6 consoles to do this with, and once both sides match up, the puzzle is done, but you can't see what the pieces are. You've got to lower them and remember, then raise them again. And if you get it wrong, you've got to raise them and lower them, and the consoles you work at don't have any way of reminding you which one you've assigned to them, and it's just stupid. This is the stupidest way to arrange pipes. Who the hell built this? Takes about 15 minutes, not because it's complex, but because you have to watch the lowering and raising animation every single time, so going wrong costs you a couple of seconds, and you will go wrong a lot until you work out what you need to do. Get these 3 pipes sorted, and this powers on the big outside elevator. I let Rick and Tom know this. They are both thrilled. Well, Rick is. Tom's focusing on not dying. While riding the elevator down, Rick actually says, dinosaurs. It's just like that movie. Yes, Rick, that is correct. This is exactly like Dragon Wars. Now we're in the lower levels. Probably find Gale around here somewhere as he was looking for the Doctor, but another puzzle. Got to use the crane to move these boxes out of the way. Annoyingly, you need a crane control card, but I have one. This is an example of a game requiring you to manually use an item instead of sensing you have it. Sometimes it'll open gates or boxes because you've got the right key on you. Other times you need to actually manually use the key from your inventory. And it seems really inconsistent which interactions use which system. The container moving is done. You have to input a specific combination of orders and then it will play them out. But there are only certain moves you can make, so it's a pattern puzzle. You cannot just tell the crane where to go. God, imagine being the guy who has to drive this every day.
Right, could you please move that container from over there to over there for me? Nope. Why not? System can't move containers 1 space forward. Only 3 spaces forward and 2 spaces left. That seems like bad design. Ha! It is.
Path made, Rick carries off Tom, all the while sassing Gale. God, guys, just tell him you like him already. We run along and find a memo on a pile of gore. I'm not calling that a body, it's just a chunk of flesh. The memo lets us know that Tom and Kirk are BFFs, although Tom seems pretty sketchy as no one knows his past. Rick carries Tom into the medical room and then, oh no, dinosaur ambush. Tom, thankfully, can summon all his strength and oozes the dinosaur in the face. We run to join them and oh god, little dinosaurs. They might look cute, but I just know they will gnaw my ankles away, so I run past those dudes and duck into the medical bay. Tom's dead, which is of course sad, but what's worse is you can't pick up his Uzi no matter how many times you try. Come on, game, he's dead. Give me the cool gun. I grab a key from the desk and read a memo. It lets me know the key I just grabbed opens the strategy room. Oh sweet, this room is also a save room. Both save rooms have corpses in them so far. Another odd pattern. I try the ID card I picked up on the elevator in the control room. Does not work, so maybe it's for the regular elevator in the main lobby. Casually stroll past this dinosaur, turn the lasers on, then back off again. These guys aren't very perceptive, are they? Oh, the ID isn't for this elevator either. Oh, well, now I'm running out of ideas. Suppose I should go to the strategy room, but, where is that? I wander around for a while, find a new office, read a memo about something called Third Energy. Some kind of intense energy experiment that went wrong and killed 150 people. That doesn't sound good. Oh, the terminal in this room can make fake IDs, or give real IDs more authority. Oh, sweet, let's do that. Oh, it needs me to enter an employee number. Oh, I wonder if I can use the 5-digit code I wrote down from earlier from the guy by the gate. Yes, I can. It works. I am brilliant. Enter a fingerprint. I didn't think to cut his finger off, so maybe I need to go and do that. Damn, that seems dark. Oh, there's another ID number on the whiteboard, but same issue, still needs a fingerprint. Well, I've got both DDKL and Cypher, so might as well go and find that door and open it and make some progress. I wander around a bit more and just happen to stumble into the strategy room. What a stroke of luck. Another memo here explains that forging IDs, and it says, yeah, I'll need both a number and a finger, so I do need to cut someone's finger off. That seems harsh. Thankfully, I find this handy-dandy device on the table that can record fingerprints, so I don't actually need to slice any digits off. I've not opened any emergency boxes yet, and I wonder if they have stuff already in them. So I open one and, oh, they do! A lot of stuff. I steal everything and mix a load of things together. I run all the way back to the dead dude by the main gate, steal his fingerprint data, then go back to the terminal and do some forgery. Why would you have a system like this just open to any member of staff in an office? What a dumb security feature. Card sorted. I am now a scientist, so the elevator should work. And aha, it does. Take a chilled ride down, but oh no! Ventilation Raptor 2! Electric Boogaloo! Get ambushed, but I've got more bullets than him, so I win. Find another memo. This one lets me know the DDK system is now more complicated. Sometimes the letters of a cipher may be replaced with numbers, 1 being A, 2 being B, and so on and so forth. That then conveniently immediately happens when I try and open the laboratory, but they've got pretty lazy because it's just the letters C through H, and also the password for the laboratory is laboratory. More dinos, more lasers, outrun and outsmart them. Lasers are my friend, it seems. Run into the library. God damn, they are everywhere down here. Leave the library and even more dinosaurs. Manage to make it into the meeting room and find more memos. Read up on this third energy thing some more. Apparently it's a bit dodgy and not all that stable, but the military just gosh darn loves it and is throwing funding and support at it. Also, the memo says there's a secret lab somewhere on this floor, and apparently there's a clue in the library. I read this flashing screen and it says the door has been locked with code 7248, and the door behind me is indeed locked with no way to seemingly open it. Run around more, find the computer room, take a screwdriver from this toolkit, find a PC that apparently unlocks all doors, so I enter 7248 and it unlocks the gas experiment room, because that doesn't sound ominous at all. Oh, another memo, the DDK system, that's the thing that locks the doors, is now getting even more complex. Numbers in the cipher might now mean ignore that entire column of letters. Oh, good. Oh, this is a save room. That's nice, because we haven't had one in a while. Run back to the library and try and find the secret place. Get attacked, no ammo, so can't kill it. Need some ammo, so head back to the comp room and look for an emergency kit box thing on the wall. Oh, you can take this panel off using the screwdriver, but the game also lets you know you don't need to do that now. Thanks, game. I find some ammo and think about heading to the library and killing the dinosaur there and looking for clues, but I remember that I unlocked the gas room, so let's try there first. Walking in, I can see 3 coloured gas bottles, and already I'm thinking, hooray, more colour puzzles. Oh damn, there's a dude in the room. And I have to use these buttons to fill the room and neutralize the gas. Don't worry, dude, I know exactly what I'm doing. So I just press random buttons because I have no idea what I'm doing, and thankfully it works and the dude is saved. Oh my god, yes, it's happening! It's gonna happen, yes! Another scientist hands me something and then tragically dies. 3 for 3 game, well done. He gives me a keycard. Apparently it's Kirk's private keycard with the number 3695 written on it. Apparently this relates to a library storage location that I'll need to go and check. I search the scientist and find a small key. I mean, he's dead. He doesn't need it anymore. Leave the room and, oh no, dinosaur attack. But we can trap this dinosaur in the gas room and, oh yes, thank you game. You knew I wanted to do that. That is some good game design right there. You can gas the dinosaur to death. Back in the library, we used the chip on the terminal thing, put in the number Kirk wrote on it, and oh god, another mini-game. You need to recreate this pattern shown on the left by only moving 2 blocks at a time and placing them on top. Why, oh why, is this in a military facility? Do the puzzle, that lights up a data storage bin, check the bin, and find a keycard called R, and then the game says there's a memo in the data storage. No game, no there isn't. This is a digital filing system. I can accept the lazy use of storytelling memos in the rest of the game. No one shoves folded up paper into a server. I can understand the use of lazy storytelling memos when you want to get across a story but don't want to use any actual area, visual or situational storytelling, but you cannot just say you found a memo every time you want to give me some information. Anyway, the memo we find tells us there's 2 keycards needed to find the secret lab. This is one, the other is in the chief's office in a safe, and the combination to the chief's office safe is written on the keycards that reveal that safe. Hang on. I've found that safe. The 2 keycards that access it say Sol and Leo. Oh god, no they don't. They're upside down. That's not Sol. It's 705 and Leo is 037. Oh god, how did I not see that? Run all the way back to the chief's office. Before I get into the lift, this dino jumps at me and the music gets all dramatic, but I just ignore it and catch a ride, so kind of anticlimactic there, game. Get off me, Mr. Dinosaur, I have no time for your shenanigans. Open the safe, put in the combination, and aha, get the L keycard. I'm guessing that's left and right. Back down to the lab, and the ambush elevator dinosaur has just buggered off somewhere. I remember a memo that said Kirk and the military dude spent a lot of time in the computer room, so I go back there and look for a hidden door. This giant screen has 2 very obvious keycard slots either side, so I try and use one, but oh, it needs to be done together. And the game asks me if I want to call Gale. Wonder what happens if you click no. Does it let me call Rick instead? Oh, no, it just makes you call Gale. Gale shows up and we work together to open the door, but that's not all. Now there's another DDK lock. A longer code this time. I try 3rd energy, but that's a bit too long. I think about decoding it, but all the other codes have been stupid easy. I wonder if it's just energy. Wow. It is.
Holy shit, our security is atrocious.
Inside the hidden lab, there's a strange energy anomaly just kind of floating on the table, then it just disappears. Explore the room, find a journal on the table, because no one in this facility puts things back on shelves. Give it a read and discover the 3rd energy explosion that killed all those people was a mistake, but the army just loved it. And after the explosion, a load of creatures appeared. I wonder what they could be. Push this shelf and find an upgrade for the shotgun, but I don't find Dr. Kirk, which is irritating as we're only there for him. Back outside, tell Gale we're still missing the good doctor, and then we get an emergency lockdown. Rick phones us and says we can escape, but there's dinosaurs everywhere, so hang back while he unlocks the secret escape hatch in the hidden room. Gale's all now, I'm just gonna go and shoot my way out, and runs off, so now it's another choice. Follow Gale and shoot stuff, or just trust Rick and do the puzzles. I'm sticking with my boy Rick. We need to get back into the secret energy lab room. Unfortunately, the lockdown has automatically locked all the doors. You can, however, trip the circuit by activating this panel here. Unfortunately, It's another puzzle. You have to recreate the image on the bottom left by rotating and then assigning these 3 tiles onto one major image. The tiles can overlay, so the order you add them is important, and again, what kind of electrician would design this? Back into the secret room, and you unlock the escape hatch by playing a game of Remember the Card. I mean, can you imagine trying to do this in an actual emergency? A situation where every second counts. If you survived, you'd want to stab whoever made this. Escape through the hatch back into the container puzzle room, and then conveniently we bump into Dr. Kirk. Oh, Gale made it too, fantastic. Kirk talks in an oh so over-the-top, floaty, evil way. He's all, "Oh, you fools have no idea what I'm trying to accomplish." Gale tells Dr. Kirk he's coming with us and convinces him using the subtle negotiation tactic of gun. Kirk gives us a keycard for the elevator in the control room and then runs off, and Gale says he has some unfinished business to sort out. Okay, Gale, be more cryptic, why don't you? I run all the way back to the control room, but nope, can't go this way because there's no ground anymore. Oh. So I zigzag through the whole facility, dodging many dinosaurs, and oh cool, a new door leads us back here to the first generator. Back in the control room, access the elevator, and the game tells me there is a button, will you push it? I'm curious what happens if you click no, so I click no and you just step out of the lift. Oh, game design where choices aren't actually choices is pointless. Taking the lift brings us to the communication room. There's ammo on the floor and ammo on the wall, and I always get a bit nervous whenever a game gives me lots of ammo. Grab the emergency antenna key from the wall and run outside the antenna room. Stick the key in the slot and boom, we now have a radio. Just need to go and use it. But when I leave the room, all the doors click lock and our old friend Mr. T-Rex shows up. Run away from this big dude, get trapped in a corner and get eaten. Reload and not quite sure how to beat this guy. Maybe just shoot every time he goes to bite me? Ah yes, that's the trick. When he opens his mouth, fill his face full of lead. Rex dealt with. Again, get into the radio room and call base. Fill them in on stuff, leaving out a few details so they actually, believe me, and now the chopper is on its way. Oh, what? You can access all the storage boxes from any storage box? Brilliant. Good thing I learned that just now. Rick tells me to get to the helipad by the main entrance, and so I run back all the way through the main facility, ignore all the dinosaurs because they're just in the way now. Oh, and outside has pterodactyls now. Well, it turns out shotgun beats pterodactyl. Can't be bothered to kill these jumping dudes, so I sprint past them into the warehouse, which is just a block-pushing puzzle. Oh, an item I missed. Let's go back and grab it. Grenade gun that fires, as the game puts it, grenade bullets. Oh, hell yes, give me the grenade bullets. Get outside and the ending CGI cutscene plays. Helicopter arrives and, psych! T-Rex shows up, eats the heli and then chases us around. If there was ever a time for a grenade gun, this is it. The doors are locked and as Rick fixes the lift, I unload everything I have into Mr. T-Rex and then I get eaten. Oh. Maybe you need to just survive a certain amount of time for Rick to fix it, and yeah, you pretty much just run around until the lift is fixed. Jump in the lift, discuss what to do next as we have no Gale, no Kirk, no helicopter, and then the lift breaks and now we're trapped underground. Oh, and underground is full of little dinosaur babies. Thankfully, one pistol bullet kills them. Rick gets to work on fixing the lift and I find a key on a dead scientist, as expected of all dead scientists by now. Oh, this guy also had enough time to write a whole memo before he got bitten to death. Seems there's a boat in the B3 level port. What a stroke of luck. Rick has fixed the lift, so we explain about the boat and set off. Rick mentions we've not seen Gale in a while and, you're right. If only we had some way to contact him. Like wrist-mounted radios. But I mean, it's a damn shame we don't have those. Whatever. I mean, that'd be so useful by now. Take the lift and the lights cut out and Gale radios us and asks what's going on. Maybe the writers suddenly remembered we actually all have radios. Seems the power on B3 is out and we need to fix it. I'm basically an electrician by this point in the game. Fixing the generator is another battery switching puzzle, but one of the batteries is dead, so I find a backup generator off to the side, steal a working battery from there and use that to fix the main one, and we have power again. Rick goes to work on the security systems and I secure an escape. This security room gives you loads of items, keycards and 2 storage boxes, so I restock and fill and mix everything I can find together. I am rocking a full inventory of damage and med packs. I've picked up a crane key, so I'll go and find a crane and oh yeah, weapons storage, that's what we need. Oh, there's a new dinosaur style. And apparently you need to mash keys when the container falls or you die. Right, let's try that again. Dodge the container, fight the new dinosaur, and right, they are a lot tougher. Waste all my ammo on killing this one, and oh great, there's another. Maybe I'll just run past you from now on. Find the crane control room, maybe I can drop boxes on them, but I need another key, so back to searching. Trank these two, then refill my supplies. I can see now why it gave me so much. I die here. A lot. These guys are faster and hit way harder, but grenades will always work. Take them down, find a key on a truck, and grab the third and final crane key which lets me move these containers. Oh joy, it's another stupid crane movement game but with limited options. Takes a few minutes to make a path, and then I take the DDK keycard from this guy's torso, run back to the main hangar room and unlock the corner door with the key from the truck. Sprint down a corridor past two big dudes, they are tough but grenades are tougher, and into a restroom and find a dead dude by a wall and a door that needs the W keycards. I have one but I still need the other. Dinos, fire grenades, bugger, out of ammo. Well, time to run then. Make it to the security room and oh, that's a nice image. Dead person in the foreground, us through glass in the background. That is a really nice camera angle. Oh cool, this x-ray scans you as you run past. This room has more keys and a few more memos. One lets me know that when the third energy experiment happens, there's a very small chance of total obliteration, so everyone needs to be on their best sciencey behaviour to make that not happen. That seems like quite an extreme side effect.
So to recap on the safety, wear your earplugs because it will be loud, make sure you're wearing eye protection and stand at least 30 metres away from the generator. Any questions? Yes, you. Yes, I have a question. What are we doing about the small but very real probability of complete obliteration? Ah, yes. That.
Grab this dead lady's data chip and borrow her fingerprint, putting it in the scanner because I might need it and it might come in handy later. I put one key chip into this slot on the wall, but I need another, so I make sure I remember how to get back here. This is quite maze-like, this area. Run down more vents, more corridors, and open more wall boxes. Nip into the researcher room and bump into Gale. He's lost Dr. Kirk and is hunting him down. Gale, how did you lose him? He was with you the last time we saw him. Memo in this room sheds some light on the fact that not everyone was keen on the good doctor, and there's quite a lot of infighting going on. Grab this key from the side and then a decent tense moment happens. Check this out. That was a pretty nice entrance dinosaur. Unfortunately, shotgun don't care. Pop into the stabilizer room, find a second DDKW key and another memo which explains I need an initializer and a stabilizer to start the experiment, and then a cipher to crack the ignition code. Rick calls us and lets us know the lasers are back online. I run back to the locked door from earlier and get attacked, but I just calmly walk to the lock and start cracking the code. It's a bit awkward when the action music keeps playing and I'm just casually code breaking. It doesn't really fit the mood at all. This is a different cipher and I spend ages trying to figure it out until I remember every code so far has been stupidly easy and I just start spelling out words. Plus, we're trying to find a boat. So I figure, waterway might work? Oh, it does. More dead dudes, this one's holding a radio still. Then Rick shows up and starts doing computery stuff. Then the dead dude's radio goes off and we hear another survivor. Apparently they're going for the boat. But they've also got a key that we need. So we have to go to make sure they don't die and lose that key. Run back to the glowing red part the map shows me, dodge some dinos on the way, but then the large lift opens up by itself and the T-Rex shows up again. Thankfully, it's an idiot, smashes its head into the main generator and knocks itself unconscious. Truly an apex predator. Annoyingly, this does knock out the power again, so we take one of the batteries from the main generator and use it to fix the backup one, the exact reverse of what we did earlier. Open the door, check the lift, controls are smashed, but we can get the port key from the dead dude and a few keycards from his dead mates. I wonder why we didn't see any people running around earlier. Back to Rick, give him the key, and we escape to the port. But wait, what's this? More strange energy blocking our way. Rick flips a coin into it, and the coin gets stretched and disintegrated. I don't want to get stretched or disintegrated, so let's not go that way. Find another keycard on the floor and set off to find a way to reverse this weird anomaly. Back to the security room as I've got the keys, and the DDK is Saturday Night Fever? I mean, it's unlikely to be that, but I try it anyway. It is not that. This one does take me a while, but then I realise we're going into the stabilizer room, and the password for the stabilizer room is stabilizer. Why do you even have passwords? Run over this bit of the floor and get wrapped in energy coils and, according to the game, sterilised. Farewell, future children. Loop back around, dodge more dinos, and unlock the new room with my new key. There's a panel here that needs a code, but I've got no clue what it is. Maybe I haven't found that memo yet. The door code is switched. Ooh, changing it up, making it difficult. I like it. So apparently the door that was only meant for Dr. Kirk has a password, and that password is Dr. Kirk. But this corridor has some more locks, and I need to rewrite some data chips. So it's back to the security room and more puzzles. Oh, it's another position swapping puzzle, but it's doubled up this time. Rewrite both keys, open the corridor, and oh hello, this area looks important. It's all cool looking. Ah, it's the third energy main generator. We call Rick and let him know we found the beating heart of the facility, and he's all, cool, turn it on and see what happens. Yeah, Rick, great plan. Can't see anything that would go wrong with that, only a small chance of obliteration. Seems you can't turn it on without doing a load of prep first, so I head over to the control room, and thankfully someone has left the instruction manual just lying right next to the main console. That's handy. Looks like I'll need Dr. Kirk's ID card to make this work, so I explore around for a bit, find some more ID cards downstairs, even more computers, and then this journal where a scientist, like the female, berated the male scientists and says they know about research, but not about bathing or hygiene. Even in a fictional dinosaur survival game, neckbeard's gonna neckbeard. Find an alive but unconscious female scientist in this room, and a memo where all the researchers distrust Kirk and have agreed to plant listening bugs around the place to spy on him. They also discovered Kirk's ID number was 31415, which I note down. I could clone his ID card with that, but I'd still need his fingerprint. This panel lets me divert the backup power from places to the third energy generator. I solve the puzzle and make that happen. Then I check the generator. It's on, but it still needs Kirk's card. Then gunshots behind me. I rush back and scientist lady has been shot to actual death, but she's scrawled a memo in blood. 1281. Chase down the shooter, and it's Kirk, but he gets the drop on me. Then Gale shows up and saves the day again. Kirk now explains how third energy works. It was meant to transport stuff through time, but there's a bit of an issue. It does this by swapping the position of two moments in time, sort of like replacing them with each other. So when the explosion happened in the forest, they actually swapped their safe forest with a dinosaur-infested hive from several million years ago, which explains all the dinosaurs. We need to escape, but can't because of these strange energy anomalies in the way, and then Kirk explains that in theory, if we overloaded the third energy generator, the anomalies might stop. But to do this, we'll need two generator parts, the initializer and the stabilizer. Now another choice. Gale thinks it's best to find these parts in the dinosaur-infested levels, while Rick thinks we should be able to build these parts ourselves if we find all the bits, which might be safer. I agree with Rick. The doctor then tells me each part needs 3 bits to build it, so I set off to find them. I'll need to head to the design room, the parts room, and the experiment room. Find the first room. There's a puzzle in it that I've not seen before and I don't have a code for. Then I push this cabinet out the way. Seriously, is nothing secured down in this facility? Behind it, I find one of those listening devices mentioned in the memo earlier. It's recorded a conversation between Kirk and some other dude, and at the end, a 5-tone pattern. 5 musical notes. And using that puzzle makes notes. What a stupidly designed, needlessly overcomplicated system. Why are the numbers laid out this way? Why does it make musical notes? Who is using that feature?
I'm ready to begin the experiment. What's the code for the case? Oh, press all the buttons until it sounds like the start of Killing in the Name of. That's remarkably specific. How would hearing-impaired people be able to do this puzzle? That's a very good question. How would they do that puzzle, Capcom?
Little bit of trial and error, I managed to match the notes up and find the first 2 items. The game doesn't actually show you where to go. I know the names of the room, but the map doesn't display room names, so I spend ages running around every single room on the floor and checking all of them. I find another item in the experiment room. Oh, this is that locked cabinet from earlier. I wonder, and I'm not sure how this would be related, but I wonder if the dying science lady's code works. Oh, it does! And there's a shotgun upgrade in here. I guess, in a very roundabout way, a dying scientist gave me an item. The cycle continues. This is such a long process to find all of the items. I spend so long running around this lab. This is also the next stupidest puzzle. Remember that sound code? Well, I hope you remember what numbers you put in, because they get used again. You need to split the 6-digit number you entered in half into 3 and 3, then add a 0 to the beginning of each half. And those 2 new codes get used in this room. There is a memo that kind of explains this, but this still took me an absolute age to figure out. Get all the bits and bring them to the assembler for another mini game. You have to rotate the shapes and line them up as new parts fly in to join on. It's not hard, it's just time consuming, and again, who built this system? With the initializer and stabilizer done, I can almost start the 3rd energy generator, but I still need Kirk's card. I do, however, have a blank ID, and I know Kirk's ID number, so all I need is his fingerprint, and that should be easy enough to get. I return to Kirk, who's being lovingly watched over by Gale, steal Kirk's fingerprint, head back to security, and knock up a forged ID card, and bingo, everything we need to start the generator and hopefully unblock our path out. Return to the massive 3rd energy generator, just need to find where to put the pieces now, and this thing is big. The stabilizer goes in this bit across the bridge, then take this lift down and stick the initializer into this bit, then activate the corner console to get this whole process started. Back to the main computer on the bridge, fire up the generator, and we are off. An in-game cutscene plays and this whole thing starts to overload. Rick radios in and tells us to crank it to maximum power. This makes the whole place shake and the ceiling collapses, crushing Gale and letting Dr. Kirk escape. But Gale, being an absolute professional, throws a tracker onto Kirk's back. I run back through the lab and go and get Gale. He's injured but not dead and gives us the pulse tracker to find the doctor's signal. We meet up with Rick in the port room and the energy anomaly dissipates, clearing our escape. But Gale now wants to go back and find Dr. Kirk and do the mission. Rick just wants to escape. This is the final choice, and this is where you can change the ending. There are 4 total endings and 3 official endings. Basically a bad one, a less bad one, and 2 decent ones. I am aiming for a decent ending. So, I follow Gale this time. We're going back after the Doctor, but I'm not following the signal straight to him. If I do that, Gale will die. First, I'm following this hidden tunnel below the base to discover the secret underground heliport. You have to discover the helicopter first to make sure Gale survives. With the helicopter discovered, you can follow the signal to find Gale holding Kirk at gunpoint. We arrest the Doctor and radio Rick to come and join us. Rick heads over but is being chased by the T-Rex. This door almost decapitates old Rexy, but nope, he is not ready to die yet. We hop back onto the moving platform and get chased by the T-Rex. This is essentially the final boss fight. I fire off all my grenades into Rex's face and finally we reach the helicopter. Final cutscene, Gale's injured but alive, Dr. Kirk is captured and Rick starts flying away. Rexy chases us up most of this emergency elevator tunnel until Rick drops a giant bomb that the helicopter for some reason had. This blows up the tunnel and Rex along with it. We are then thrown out into the brilliant sunshine and cue the credits, which are of course unskippable. If you watch them all the way through, you'll get your debriefing video. Everyone is alive apart from Tom and Cooper, and we unlock a cool new outfit for the next playthrough, and that is Dino Crisis. A spiritual successor to Resident Evil in many ways and often overshadowed by it, despite having new technology used in making it like the 3D rendered environments and much more aggressive enemies, Dino Crisis released only a few months before the much more successful Resident Evil 3, and it just wouldn't go on to see the worldwide success its zombie brother did. Intricate level design that loops back on itself nicely but becomes sorta confusing toward the end, acceptable voice acting that never quite reaches good, and puzzles that are plentiful but repeated a little bit too often. The action sections are fun the first few times, and then you'll just run around or run past enemies. They end up being roadblocks more than actual scary things. The music is fitting apart from when it's not. If all the cues match up and the chase music plays as you're being chased, it's great. But if, like me, you trigger an event and then go and read a memo, you'll be left with all too excited music while you try and read. The plot takes itself seriously enough, time travel is always hard to get right, and I actually liked the idea that time displacement means swapping one bit of time-space with another. There's a lot you could do with that idea. I finished the game in just over 9 hours, and apart from the frustration of finding those parts at the end, it was a really fun time. The movement of Regina was fine, the gunplay was decent for a horror game, and the mixing system to manage inventory space was actually really nice. Instead of carrying a bandage and a medkit, you combined them into a better medkit, and you never felt like combination was wasted, apart from those few times when you can combine 2 items to make a worse item. Capcom were trying to make panic survival with Dino Crisis, and they nailed that before you die. By that I mean, the exciting moments is when you're on the verge of death, when a mistake might mean death, and as a video game, you need to keep the player in that moment as long as possible. Actually killing them? That's the boring bit. When I was trapped in the office and the T-Rex was lunging at me, that was scary. And if I'd have ran for the door and he knocks me back, the scare would have continued, but if you run for the door, he just eats you and kills you. It's not scary if you die too quickly, and I feel the panic is never given a chance to last long enough. The only thing that would make this review better would be if it were handed to you by a dying scientist, which is why I'll award Dino Crisis Dying Scientist Gives You a Thing out of 10. Cheers for watching, I hope you've enjoyed revisiting Dino Crisis with me. A massive thank you to all my supporters on Patreon and Twitch who make all my content possible. If you've enjoyed the video, you can join the Patreon from only £1 a month. Let me know in the comments what game you want to see me play next, and if you want to vote on the next video, come and join our Discord. Check the video description for links to the Patreon, Twitch, Twitter and Discord, and as always, have a great day.